Hello, my name is Neil Horan. I'm from County Kerry in Southern Ireland, and I'm wearing the green, white and gold of my native county and my native country, together of course with the Star of David, which is an essential part of my Christian faith. I am here in my home in South London, in Lordship Lane, opposite Dulwich Library, making this video. We'll make it on the last day of January in the year 2016. It's being made by my friend and fellow countryman, Mr. Fitzgerald from County Limerick. I hope that you will see, as the video pans out, that it is being well made. I went to Rome just before Christmas. I left, in fact, on the 22nd of December, and I flew out with my friend Michael from County Kilkenny. We went to make a demonstration near the Vatican in Rome. In fact, it was the Piazza Pio XII, to be exact, which is outside the Vatican boundaries, and it's in the Republic of Italy, not in the State of the Vatican. Because I knew it was very sensitive, I sent emails 2 weeks before I departed from London. I sent them to the President of Italy, Sergio Mattarella, to the Prime Minister, Matteo Renzi, and to the Mayor of Rome, Francesco Paolo Tronco. I sent them via the President of the Chamber of Deputies, which is the Italian government, the Camera dei Deputati, and that is Signora Laura Baldrini, and asked her to forward them to the three leaders to whom I sent them. 8 days before I took off from London, I sent personal letters by post to those three leaders. In those letters and in the emails, I spelled out exactly what I intended to do, that I intended to hold a religious demonstration as part of my preaching of the gospel to prepare mankind for the second coming of Christ, and that I would base the demonstration especially on 3 chapters of the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, also known as the Apocalypse. They are chapters 16, 17 and 18. I pointed out that my posters would read, "The Pope is a false prophet, no matter how popular he may be," and also that the Catholic Church is the prostitute of Babylon. And I explained that even in the Catholic Jerusalem Bible, which is the best known Catholic Bible of all, in the footnote it says that Babylon stands for Rome. There's a very detailed description given of the city of the 7 hills in those chapters, and without doubt the best known city of the 7 hills in the world is Rome. And so then I prepared the ground, I felt, in an honourable way. I asked those leaders to guarantee me the right of free speech, the right of a peaceful demonstration, and the right to express my opinions in a democracy, because a democracy by its nature guarantees those rights. And I said that that right includes the right to offend, because in truth the Bible itself is offensive, because the truth is offensive, and Jesus was offensive in many of the things that he said. So therefore we, his followers, have no choice but to be offensive. Jesus, for instance, said to the Pharisees, "You like whited sepulchres." That's like tombs that are painted white. Outside, he said, "You look fine, but within you're full of dead men's bones on all iniquity. Appalling language to use to any human being, but Jesus felt that he had to use it because he spoke the truth. So those Italian leaders then were made well aware of my intention, and I felt, and I asked them in fact to guarantee that my demonstration would be carried out without problems, and to guarantee that the police would not interfere with me, and that the police in turn would guard me if any of the ordinary people should feel like attacking me. So me and Michael arrived in the Piazza Pio the 12th on Wednesday the 23rd of December, about 1:15. I began my demonstration by performing my dance and holding up one of the posters, but within 30 seconds at most we were virtually surrounded by the police, the Carabinieri, which is the military branch of the police. And from then on, what happened was a total disgrace to Italy. They began to cover up my posters without even asking me. They kept me there for about an hour while they were on the phone. They made absolutely no attempt to ask me what my demonstration was about. They pretended to be totally ignorant of what I was doing and of me. Now, if they were, it meant, of course, that those three leaders, Mattarella, Renzi and Tronca, abysmally failed in their duties to pass on information of my demonstration to the upholders of the law in their very own state, in their very own capital, in other words, the police. By the way, neither Mattarella, Renzi or Tronca had the decency or the good manners to reply to me in any shape or form, nor have they done to this day. And so then, after about an hour there, I was put into a police car and taken to the Borgo Carabinieri station. But they used deceit from the word go, because they gave me the impression it was merely to go in to sign some document and then I would be free. But they kept me and Michael in virtually under arrest, although they didn't actually call it an arrest, for a full 8 hours. During that time we were in the reception of the police station. Police were coming and going all the time. They were chatting on the phone. They did not put us in a cell, or they did not put us in handcuffs, but they did not have the decency to offer us even a cup of water or a cup of cappuccino. Certainly no sign then of Italian hospitality there. So what happened then in Rome to me and my friend was nothing short of a disgrace to Italy and to its government, to its police. And I suspect that the dark shadow of the Vatican also casts its shadow over every aspect of life in Rome. The police and the politicians, as well as the religious aspect. In fact, it's difficult to go anywhere in Rome without seeing links, buildings and associations with the Vatican. And many times I had them on the phone mentioning the word Vaticano, as if the Vaticano had indeed been on the phone to them, perhaps to try and get them to keep me and Michael in for that bit longer and to punish us that bit more. And so then I hereby accuse the President of Italy, Sergio Mattarella, the Prime Minister, Matteo Renzi, and the Mayor of Rome, Francesco Polo Tronca, of total failure in their duty. and lacking the common manners and common decency even among normal human beings, let alone leaders of a so-called great nation and a great democracy. I accused Tullio del Sette, the head of the Carabinieri, and his forces of illegally arresting us, because it was an arrest, illegally holding us for 8 hours without even a cup of water, illegally taking us to have our fingerprints taken, but we were not charged, illegally threatening Michael with immediate arrest, full arrest of course, and imprisonment in a cell if he refused to give them his fingerprints, illegally taking our photographs. So I then formally accused him of all this, and furthermore I accuse the head of the police station where we were of actually confiscating my property, in other words my music player. He kept it. That was Marco, Signor Marco, a senior member of the Carabinieri. He took my music player, which cost hundreds of pounds, from in front of my eyes and kept it and has never returned it. So it's robbery, I would say. It's tantamount to stealing my property. I would demand a written apology from the Italian government. I demand financial compensation for the enormous distress caused to me and my friend. I demand the immediate return of my property. So that then was my sad experience in the city of Rome in December this year, just before Christmas. Now, no city in the world for the past 1500 years has been associated with a religious leader so closely as Rome has been with the Pope. No city in the world today is so closely associated with a religious leader as Rome is with the Pope. The Pope is a unique figure on the world stage. Not only is he a religious figure, he is very much a political figure, being the head of state of the Vatican and having his ambassadors all over the world. And usually he demands that his ambassadors be the head of the diplomatic corps. In other words, the whole group of ambassadors in any country, the Pope demands by and large, and he gets it too, that his ambassador is the head of the diplomatic corps in each country. So I will finally now turn to the Holy Bible and read some direct words from it to finish. And this is from chapter 18 of the book of Revelation, Christ's own words, of course. And the mighty angel took a great millstone and cast it into the sea. Like that. Saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman, of whatever craft he be, shall be found no more at all in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more in thee, or in you, of course, in the modern phrase. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in you. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, her traders who did such enormous trade and commerce with her in her rich and costly vestments, for instance. For by your sorceries were all nations deceived. So your sorceries, in other words, total deception almost to the point of witchcraft. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So this then is the fate of the city of Rome. There's no question it's speaking about the actual city of Rome and nowhere else. So Rome will vanish from the face of the earth. No doubt the huge earthquake with a volcano with sulfuric acid pouring down from it, just like the destruction of Pompeii in the year 79. That was a generation after Christ. Pompeii just vanished under the volcanic ash which poured down upon it. But beyond this then, there is a glorious new world coming. Christ will return, and he will certainly make short shrift of the false prophet, because it says that the false prophet will be thrown into the lake of fire, which burns with brimstone. And that will be the huge fire which will break out as the result of the Ottoman nuclear bomb that will be dropped plenty during World War III. And that fire will continue for 1,000 years, admittedly in a very small part of the earth. It seems in southern Jordan, in what was anciently called the land of Edom. But the whole earth, apart from that, will be a new Garden of Eden, a new paradise. It will be a truly wonderful age of joy, peace and happiness and contentment, with Christ as King in Jerusalem, reigning with his saints, whom he will bring back at the resurrection, and form a new world government with them. He will reign as King of Israel, and all nations will become part of the Commonwealth of Israel, and therefore in that sense Christ will be King of the whole world. A great new temple will be built in Jerusalem, and to this all peoples of the earth will go once a year to hear the one absolute truth from the lips of Jesus and the saints. There will be no question then of any great disputes or opinions as to what the truth is, because the truth will shine as strongly as the sun on the most brilliant of summer days. I long for that time. I long for the destruction of Rome and its being wiped off the face of the earth. I long for the destruction of the Roman Catholic Church and its being wiped off the face of the earth. I long for total truth to come, which will cover the earth as the waters covered the sea. May God bless you all, and I wish all of you the best.
Oh, okay.
So